evening. Happy Friday, TGIF. I hope you guys got notified that I was going online. Twitch is being stupid and saying, we can't pick up your settings. Go set them again. So I did. And then they say, we can't pick up your settings. So I have a feeling the notification may not go out, unfortunately. But I did put it on Discord. And I hopefully that will send out notifications. Some of you, I mean, I don't set it so that I get notification from every Discord that I'm on either. So I can understand if it didn't. Anyway, I do hope that eventually you all figure out that we are having a Friday night spinning with a glass of wine. I don't care what you want to have to drink. Can be just perfectly anything, but I do hope that you have a chance to join me, unwind a little bit before we rev it up again for the weekend. I spent the whole day away from the house, got home at 5 o'clock, took a very restful break because I knew I'd be doing my spinning for the next 2 hours. Had a lovely lunch out with hubby. Weather got beautiful. I mean, just beautiful. And so we sat out. Now we've got storms coming for the next couple days. So we took advantage of the one day that it was really good to get out. We also ran all over the place looking for the cat food that Newman likes. It's getting hard to find. It's been hard to find. I think I may have even talked about this before, but we did eventually find some of it, and I'm stocked up pretty good. He doesn't eat a whole bunch. I mean, he's just one cat, but I also want to make sure that he gets his treat every day of some canned food. And it's the canned food that we're having trouble finding. So anyway, we spent the whole day running around. I haven't spun yet. I'm going to get to it and post it as soon as I get done with the stream to make the spin every day. I have not only done that, but I've streamed every day too. I am doing the same thing over and over and over right now. It's the only thing I have left to do. So we're going to get it done in the next 5 days maybe. I'm going to spin a bat and a half on each bobbin. I don't know that I'll get it all done in the 2 hours, but I will complete those 2 bobbins before I ply, because I have 2 bobbins done. These only have a bat of each on. This is, as you can see underneath, CVM, and it's for a sweater spin. And I'm going to have to do, I have 15 bats, so one bat had to split in half so that I can put, divide the 14 bats evenly and do it that way. So that's what's happening. I'm going to do the bat and a half on this go round. Get it out of the way. That will leave me, I think I just counted up 6 bats to do. So if I can spin 2 bats, that's 3 bats. That's 3 days. I know Monday is a rest day. I won't spin on Sunday. That's a challenge day. The challenge project is not spinning at all, but it is with hand spun yarn, and I believe that qualifies. Maybe I better spin a little bit before I stream. I'll do the challenge on the stream, but I'll spin some. I'll spin some before I stream. Sunday I stream at 3 o'clock. I don't know what time I'm gonna try and stream tomorrow, which is Saturday. I was a little bit waiting to see who streams when, because there is others that are more apt to stream during the weekend than during the week. So I think I'm just gonna hang out and see what everybody says and watch theirs and jump in and do some whenever. If I have to be the L'Anon Rouge, which is the last person in the tour, the last rider, if I have to be the last rider, I will. I read you a bedtime story and put you to sleep, which I probably could do tonight for a fair number of people, but I like to hope that I can catch others more on the West Coast that I don't see normally. Catch some people that have nothing else to do on Friday night and they're bopping around Twitch looking for something to watch. I'll be glad to be done with this. I will tell you honestly, I like CVM. I'm not super impressed with this fleece because it had so many shortcuts in it. But I do know that it knits up well because I made a pair of socks out of it quite a few years ago when I first got it. So, and I dyed a little bit of it and I had enough for a pair of socks that, you know, you call them house socks, right? Can't really put them in shoes. I could, but I can my boots. I have worn them in my boots in the wintertime, but they are thicker. But it knits well, and those socks, I have to hand wash them. They're 100% wool. They're not machine washable, and I don't wash them more than, once a winter after I'm ready to store them. When I'm ready to store them, I give them a wash with some sweaters and stuff, and they're felting on the bottom just from my walking on them, and that's okay with me too. That should help them wear better. I kind of like that felting. So it's been a good breed for that and for the socks and everything. It should be a really good breed for the sweater. I just don't know that I'm going to get enough. I'll probably have to put something with it. I am trying to spin a woolen. It's more of a semi-woolen because I can't do a real long draw. The staple is short. Not real short, but it's shorter than a lot of wools that you would do a long draw with. Like a Romney and Corriedale. Maybe a Coopworth, or there's another C that I'm thinking of right now that, not Clune Forest, that's short. Can't think what I'm thinking of. Cotswold. That's another really good one for long draw. But I'm working on getting it around 11 reps per inch. The light gray fleece that I did worked out that way. I've been using the control card and going for the 22 here. It bounces around between 20, 24, and 22. I can't stay right on it, but it's not bad. It's doing pretty good. This is drum carded. I drum carded it with my drum carder. So once again, yesterday's stream, towards the end, fortunately, it got a mute, and it was Pretzel. I reported it to Pretzel. I asked for I did what Pretzel says to do, which is to say to Twitch, I have the right to use this music. It doesn't let me say because I'm getting it from Pretzel, but Pretzel says right in there, frequently asked questions and help thing,
make that statement when you report it. But it doesn't matter because Twitch just never goes back and unmutes it. They just, and of course the VODs don't stay around that long. So all I'm doing is whining a little bit because I really hate it. And everybody, I just think everybody hates it, And it's the software that Twitch uses. Whatever they do to identify your music has nothing to do with whether the music is identified in chat or not. It's picking it up from the coding that is there in the music. It's picking it up from that. Seems to be based on the artist name because Pretzel does ask for that. So, anyway, I always feel like I have to apologize, but there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Unless somebody can tell me how to edit the video. I have not figured out if, I could go in and cut that little section out, but I have too much else to do. I'm not going to be messing with that. I have too much else to do right now. If I'm going to edit anything, I'm going to edit a podcast.
Okay, I have not tasted my wine yet. I need to do that. It is a peach. It's a peach. And it smells good. It smells real peachy. Got a little tingle to it. Ooh, that is good. It's good and cold.
Hubby and I both will go to wine tastings, but he is not normally a wine drinker.
I am. I lived in California.
I could not
do anything but, become a wine drinker when I lived out there.
And I developed
a taste for the
Merlots. That is basically that though is a winter wine because red wines are heavier and they warm me up, right? There's a lot of people who can't drink red wines. I know that, but they're a good thing for me because they do warm me up a little bit. So it's a good winter wine. And generally, I like the way Merlots taste. And that's what I tend to drink. But in the summertime, we tend to go towards the sweeter wines because hubby will join me for a glass on the porch in the summertime. So it's nice
to have somebody share a bottle with.
And he is very kind to go to wine tastings to a winery and taste wines with me, and I will in turn go to breweries and taste beers with him. It's just something we do if we come into a city and we're staying for the night, look for something to do nearby. When I first started streaming, and by the way, my anniversary's coming up, I have got to think about doing something special for the stream anniversary, 1 year. But when I first started streaming, I thought it would be so cool to have a different cocktail with the stream. I totally got away from it because I got really serious about teaching, and I just was so focused on the spinning. I have eased up and done
a lot more spin and chat
than the teaching. But it was like, well, okay. I don't think anybody's really interested in cocktails, but I wasn't doing the spinning, that might be something I'd do. Let's make cocktails. I am a closet bartender. Don't want to work as a bartender, but I sure like making drinks. Uh-oh. Get over it. The stuff I'm picking off wants to stay with me on my hand. There was one alcohol that I got to taste. A lot of the wineries are becoming distilleries also. And when we recently went up to French Lick, Indiana, their winery has become a distillery, and they made something I had never had the opportunity to taste before. It's called Aquavite. It is Scandinavian in origin, and so I tasted it. I had no idea what to expect. It was so different than anything I'd ever tasted before, and I finally did a little reading on it, and I found out what I was tasting. It has to have a certain percent of caraway in it. So I'll tell you what, it tastes like rye bread. Is what it tastes like. Now, you can't drink this straight. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. It is gonna burn your tongue. But mixed in with other things, and to have that caraway taste is really interesting. Was not at all what I expected. I had a hard time when I was tasting it, trying to figure out what I was tasting. And then when I did some reading, and we got a bottle of it, and I brought it home, and I worked with it a little bit, I was like, oh, that's what that is. It's caraway. Why are they talking on my music? There's nobody here. I'm going to turn this way up. I want to listen to this. I mean, that's good. That's nice. Why do they have to talk? Oh well. It's all right. I am so frustrated that I don't think Twitch sent out notifications. It really frustrates me. Why do things have to get broken? I know, so that the people that fix it have a job. Right? Right. So I went to the grocery store today, and I was making menus and planning, and I found a couple recipes that I'm going to try for the first time, and one of them is a whole chicken cut up, put in the crock pot, and done with sort of an oriental sauce. It has soy sauce, but it also has orange marmalade. I think it's going to be pretty good. was watching. I'm going to talk about food here.
There's nobody here. I just have to talk to
Myself. Was watching Anthony Bourdain. They're running it, one after the other, like they did with Bob Ross for a while. So they're running Anthony Bourdain. No reservation. And he went to, it was either Brazil or Argentina. I'm thinking it was Brazil. And the whole thing about the cuisine there is it's extremely meat based. And there are specific restaurants that you go to that you don't get anything else. You go and you get platters of meat set in front of you. It's chicken, beef, pork, right? Mostly that kind of thing. And the vegetarians are going, ooh. I know. I hear you in the background there. It's my daughter. But hubby and I actually got to experience that because on a cruise ship one time, they had an Argentinian restaurant. And they walk around with these skewers. And the skewers are, 4 foot tall. And there is just meat skewered on there. And one waiter will walk around with chicken on a skewer. You want chicken? You want chicken? You want chicken? Each table. You want chicken? And you say yes or no. Now these are, since it's on the cruise ship, these are, eat what you want. You don't have a limit. So they're not going to just come by once. They're going to check with you over and over and over again. And then it's like, pork? Want some pork? And it's all grilled on a spit, is what it is. And I basically told hubby, I said, okay, this is for you, Mr. Meat and Potatoes. I think it was even overwhelming for him. Anyway, I'm going to try a whole chicken. In this sauce, I will make rice. And yes, we'll have a vegetable. Who knows what? I have fresh zucchini and yellow squash given to me from my neighbor. I cooked my first zucchini. These are, as always, pretty large. And I chopped it up. I put it in after sauteing garlic and onion, the onion was also fresh. Little green onions, fresh from the garden. His garden. I am not gardening this year, and he knows that. He's up in years. He's in his early 80s. Okay. But he still gardens. And he knows I wasn't gardening this year, so he's been sharing, which is really, really nice. But yeah, when you share zucchini and squash, that's because there is just more than you can eat. Right? But I sauteed the fresh onions and some garlic in olive oil. I put a little bit, I put the chopped up a zucchini, big one, and made it into fine pieces, put that in there, sauteed that for a while. I put in a can of seasoned tomatoes. I don't have any fresh really right now, so I had to use canned. And a little bit of hamburger. I was kind of in the mood to have something non-vegetarian necessarily. And I was making regular spaghetti sauce for hubby, so I just put a little bit of hamburger in that and ate it on pasta. Boy, is it good. That's my kind of meal. That's my summer meal. That, and when I do get fresh tomatoes, chop up a tomato, put it with cottage cheese, and yum. That's my lunch. Boy, this fiber really wants to stick in my hands today. They're not that dry. So I gotta make the chicken tomorrow or Sunday. I know traditionally you make it for a Sunday meal. You want to know the other thing that was absolutely wonderful? I woke up, it was light outside and not dark, and I thought that doesn't look like 5 a.m. and it wasn't. It was 7:30 a.m. I slept 9 hours last night. That's a first forever because of the surgery, my knee, and all of that. So I was thrilled. Promptly wore myself out walking around the grocery store, though, but that's alright. At least I had the spoons to do it. Where did that term come from? Everybody uses it now. Even when I went to the knitting group, that in real life, you know, I found the spoons to do this. Where did that come from? Can I be different and say I didn't have any spoons, but I used the forks instead? I know whatever it is. Everybody's playing games. It's Friday night. Gonna play games all night. If I do get this done before the tour's over, I am going to spin on the Nano. And I am going to spin that silk. I'd love to finish that bobbin up. I'd love to finish that bobbin up and make another bobbin is what I really would love. Although I did say that would be on stream. I did say off stream I need to work on the black walnut dying next. My iPad's beeping its little heart out here. You guys are talking on Discord. Everybody is. I also signed up for one that keeps logging in as a viewer when I stream, called Discord for Streamers. And so I went to their Twitch page, I went to their Discord, and I signed up. And I probably will back out after a while, but I wanted to see if there was anything good from the group about the streaming.
Well, hello. I got a spammer.
I have a spammer. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
Oh. All right. We are going to ban you. We are going to... Oh, we can't... Oh, yeah. We can't delete the message? Huh. Well, I'm just going to reset the chat. All right.
Clean slate again.
Wow. Hello. Heffortel, I see.
See a follow. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. You have the same in your life today and in the future.
Thank you for spreading the goodwill.
We all deserve a good year. The world needs that right now, everywhere. I'm sitting here thinking of all the things I need to do. I need to make a to-do list. Oh, I know someplace I can check and see if Twitch actually said anything, because it should show up on Masked Bandits Discord thread. Let me see. It did. Okay. I feel better. Now I'm not so worried about it. I could stop thinking about that. Alright, we're going to do a to-do list. I'm not going to tell you what's on it. Hi. Are you spinning too, or I thought you'd be done for the day? Good. Welcome. Yes. Are we tired of this yet? I'm getting a little tired of it. Although I have been really, really good about spinning early in the day. But today we went and ran, the in-town errands. Got groceries. We did eat out lunch, and that was really nice. Hubby had to go to Lowe's. So, but I knew I was going to spin tonight, so it's okay. I am hoping I can fit 1.5 bats on a bobbin here. I've only been putting one on before this, so I'd like to get 1.5 to even things up. Ooh, that's nasty. Excuse me. Alright, so there are periodic pauses here as I'm making my to-do list for the weekend. Sorry. But when you sit and spin, and not watching TV or doing something else, it's easy to get into thinking, the thinking mode. And sometimes I do better without a list, sometimes I do better with a list. It just depends. Oh, the sunset's going to come right through the. I have. They're not clear glass, but there's glass in the doors that I close for this room. And that sunset, if they face west, that sunset is coming right in there. Not seeing anything but the light of it. I think we're going to have a pretty sunset. You have 4 ounces left to complete your goal. That's so awesome. That's ahead of me. That is awesome. Have you been plying as you going? I'm starting to notice that some are make plying balls and they're just gonna ply later. Right, they're just counting the ounces of fiber that they set as their goal, and if they get it into the single, then they're fine with that. I haven't been doing that. I've been playing as I go. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to put on this list. Oh yeah, I got it. I'm making a to-do list. I'm sitting here thinking. You've applied, yeah, you have too. I want to just go ahead and get it done. Of course, then I have lots of yarn I gotta wash. There's always something more in there. Always something more. I find that I'm on the average, if I really focus and spin the whole stream and not get sidetracked chatting a lot or whatever, I can spin 2 ounces during the it'll go over 2 hours. It might go closer to not quite 2.5. And I have not been spinning off stream. You're doing 4 ounces a day. Wow. Well, what are you going to do with the rest of the week? No, I'm just kidding. There's always something to do. Always something to spin. And if you wanted, are you doing the spin every day? You still have to spin if you're doing that. Ouch. Piece of hay.
The person you're trying to reach
Trying to figure that
is not
out.
available right now.
I'm just meeting my goal.
Yeah, see, I was jokingly saying on a stream the other day that if we meet our goal and spend more, there should be a challenge of bonus
If you need further
spinning,
assistance,
right?
enter pound now.
But that would be hard because people could, the spindlers, the people on drop spindles, barely. I mean, they do such a little amount a day, and so their goal is not going to be as high as those of us that are spinning on spinning wheels. So I guess that would be kind of hard to sort out.
Goodbye.
Gosh, I pick at this fiber. Pick, pick, pick. There is so much short stuff in here. Little neps. It's going to be a rustic yarn anyway. Let's see here. Go over there. It'll be nice to knit with, though. It's smooshy. It's soft. All I have to really do is try the needles and get the gauge first, and that before I start anything with it. Make sure that I get the gauge with it.
A sweater.
This is my sweater spin. I don't know if I'll have enough. I may have to add to it, but I should have enough to meet their goal on the Twitch team, at least. I don't know that that's enough yardage to make my sweaters, but I definitely have the amount of fiber that they said would qualify. So because I had one small fleece and one big fleece. I had 21 bats total.
You would think that would be enough yarn, but I don't know.
I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I'll look real quick here.
It isn't a yard. It's either a weight or a yardage. I'm assuming that you don't have to meet both, but you have to.
Meet one or the other. Let's see what it says on here on Discord. Sweater spin. Huh. I have to go all the way up to the front because on my iPad, I don't know where the pinned. Here it is. Sweater spin, 17.5 ounces, must be plied finished yarn or 1K 2 pound 925 gram single. So it's, see, they didn't give, it said 17.5 ounces.
And that's why I said I have that my bats are about an ounce, sometimes a little less, but my bats are about an ounce.
So there's no yardage requirement for
The 2-ply. And I think they did that
that because
when you ply, you basically go through your, they count it 3 times anyway for yarn in a lot of cases.
cases, because you go through the orifice three times, the 2 singles and the plying. I think that's why they did it that way. So I know I have the ounce requirement. Unless I've thrown an awful lot of it away, I can show, I've taken pictures of the bats. I can show where I wrote down the weight of the bats. So I think that'll qualify. And of course I'll show the yarn. I am down, after I spin what I'm working on, I've got a bat and a half. I've got basically 3 bats to spin right now. I'm putting a bat and a half on each bobbin. But after I do that, I have 6 bats left. So
I'm sort of right around 6.5
ounces left to spin. I'm not far off from what you are doing. It really makes a difference to spin every day.
Well, see, they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't give. Did you weigh your yarn? You could weigh your yarn. I mean, that's what I suggest doing and see. But I don't know. I'm just going by what was written at the first post of that challenge. And I think you had to state that you were going for the goal. I mean, I did, but that might have been a requirement before starting.
Oh my gosh. Spin a little more. Really, it's 17.5 ounces. Just add a little more.
Of something. And say, that's your trim or your yoke or unless I don't know if I can't remember if you had to say ahead of time you were going to do it or not.
Twitch team is. Yeah, but the point is it has to be all for the sweater. That's the point. Not just the how much you spin total.
It's supposed to be for a specific project, a sweater. I meant, I don't mean a specific sweater, but it is supposed to be that for a sweater. I mean, I spun other fiber too for the shave 'em to save 'em, but I'm not including that in the ounces for the sweater spin.
Well, see, that's enough. If that is
something you would make a sweater out of. It's enough to make a pattern. I mean, for me, I figure about 1,800 yards for a sweater, and I think that might be overestimating with hand spun because it's thicker than a lot of the commercial yarn that you knit sweaters with, right? That tends to be more of a sport weight or a worsted weight, and I'm getting what the gauge says is an Aran weight. Woo. Well, definitely lacy cardigan when it's fingering weight. So do you have plans for that yarn? I mean, were you spinning specifically for something, or I know what you spun, right? I know the fiber you spun was that one stuff from Hobby Lobby, wasn't it? Or Michael's? Hobby Lobby, I think. I thought you had said something about, yeah, a tank top. Okay. I don't think they count that as a sweater.
Um,
Will
will it take that much yardage for a tank top?
I wouldn't think so. There's no sleeves, or is it a t-shirt? It's when I think tank top, I think straps. But maybe you think t-shirt with the short sleeves.
You have enough to
Also make a skirt. Oh. Well, that's something I don't think I would ever attempt. I have no desire to wear a knitted skirt. I very rarely wear short skirts. They're almost always at least knee length. Ugh, this is a mess. It's just falling apart. I'm stopping with that bit.
4-inch straps. Yeah, that's nice.
That's going to be really pretty. Because your yarn is beautiful. Really pretty. I think this is going to be the Ravelry pattern is called the February Lady sweater. I have had it in my queue forever, and it's a very blocky, not much detail. I'm going to make 3/4 length sleeves, and really simple pattern. I think it'll be fine with hand spun. This is the last of the big bat. I have a half a bat to go. Ah, a little further along than I thought I was. All right. It is time for a stretch. It's been an hour. Get myself back on my pillow here and back against the back of the chair. Oh, that feels good. Dinner's ready. Okay, enjoy. You eat late like we do. A lot of times we eat really late, and especially in the summertime. Hubby's out doing mowing, doing stuff. You don't come in till dark. Oh, that felt good. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, you streamed late? Oh, you're having taco spaghetti. I'm sorry, I was out running around doing all sorts of errands and grocery shopping and stuff like that. I didn't catch anybody's stream today because I wasn't home from like 10:30 till 5. And quite honestly, once I got home, I took a nap. A little nap. So taco spaghetti, you have taco sauce. You have, instead of spaghetti sauce, you have taco sauce. Interesting. I've never had that. Okay, go ahead. Put yourself in lurk, or you don't have to do it. I don't have a lurk command. Just I'll, when you want to chat, just say hello. Spaghetti noodles for the shell. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, yeah. Ate a very normal lunchtime lunch, but it was a big fish sandwich. So I haven't really had a supper. I will get something, it maybe as simple as some fruit and cheese and crackers. And apple cheese and crackers. I like that. Especially if I decide to have another glass of wine. Although, I've hardly touched this wine, so I may still have it. That's what you had, pear and crackers. Ooh, I love pears. We bought some peaches at the store this time. So I got 2 out so they ripen. Put the other 2 in the fridge. I gotta remember to oil this when I put my next bobbin on. I can hear it rubbing a little bit. It doesn't pay just to put a little drop on now. I have to do the shaft. I've been spinning quite every day on it, so I think it's needing some oil. Hi, Kate. I didn't spin on Monday either, KB. Took a rest day completely. And it really was good. I definitely needed it. I said I've been spinning every day, but the truth was I meant every day that the tour rode. How are you tonight, Kate? Getting close to being done with this bobbin. Oh, woot woot! Vacation. Yeah. Okay, are you going away? Are you staying home? Because it used to be a huge thing for me that I'm on vacation. But I didn't get to stay home. I had, and I like to stay home. I know Tantel, she had vacation the first week of the tour. Somebody else, maybe it was you, was talking about vacation. Somebody else was talking about vacation. Or I'm imagining it. Okay. Oh, that's, yeah, I know, KB. You were spinning in the car. I remember that. So it was a family reunion. That's nice. That's one thing we don't have. The family is, pretty small and spread out, and we just don't have family reunions. Used to when I was growing up. But that is no longer, we're no longer in the same area, and not that many of the family is. Kay says I'm staying home and doing all the spinning and crafting. And
She also says that might have been me. I'm looking
Forward to it. It could be, and I just didn't remember. But that is awesome. I know you're looking forward to it. We don't have travel plans till maybe the 1st of September. That in the first couple weeks of September, we're talking about going down to Florida to see my mom. Seems like a long, long time since we went there, but that was March, the first part of March when we went. And I know you all remember I took off from streaming for 2 weeks. Maybe less, I don't know. Went on vacation. We've done a number of 2-day stay overnight somewhere, that kind of little short jaunts. And we're talking about one up in Chicago in August. That would be a 2-day thing. So we've done that kind of stuff. KB says, we'll be traveling the last 2 days. Well, aren't you balanced? Of course, you won't necessarily have to do too much. You're gonna have met your goal. You could spin a smidgen on a drop spindle and post it and say, I spun today. And that can be it. I can't imagine trying to spin on a drop spindle in a car, though. So, use your Nano, I guess. Leaving Friday evening, coming back on Monday. I'll be practically done tomorrow. You just got a Nano? I thought you had one. Oh, I thought you had one. I didn't realize you just got it. So you didn't have it for the opening of the Tour de Fleece? When you were driving? You were spinning on a drop spindle? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I just don't remember things well. But at least it gives us something to talk about. Oh, you had the mini. Oh. Gotcha. I gotcha. Alright. I wasn't remembering too wrong. I thought it was something like that. You can. The pendulum effect on the spindle while you're moving is an adventure. Well, good for you. I have a good friend who is spinner, knitter, all that, here locally. And when they travel, she spins on a support spindle in the car because she is super good on support spindles. So she puts it in her lap and spins on a support spindle.
Kay said, I actually tried it because of you, KB Fibers. I'm not sure if it's something I do on long trips, but short ones is okay.
And then as far as the sports spindle, she said that might be easier.
Do you spin on a sports spindle?
At home routinely? Can you spin on a sports spindle? I have such a terrible time keeping the spindle in place in like the little cup or whatever I'm trying to use. It just doesn't seem to want to stay put. That's my biggest complaint, and I think the motion of the car might add to it. But that's a moot point. I will not ever probably, unless my daughter and I go on a trip, and she can drive. I'll always be driving.
You haven't tried a sport yet? I'll try it stationary first, yeah.
Yeah. I love the look of what it does. I love the concept. I'm just not real good at it. I should practice. That's all I need is practice. That same friend who spins on a sports spindle is also very, very good on a charka. And the way she became good on a charka is she was staying and taking care of her mother who had broken her collarbone. And so to pass the time when she didn't actually have to do something, she had a charka and that's all she spun on. And she got good at it. It's cool, isn't it, that there's so many ways to spin? I think that's pretty cool. Every spinning tool sort of has its niche and its use and what it works good for. I'm more than likely going to be finishing up the second bobbin on stream. Tomorrow, I should say tomorrow. I didn't finish that statement. I'm not going to have any trouble fitting in a bat and a half on the bobbin, but plying it could be a problem. I'm not sure it will fit entirely on a Roberta bobbin. I am still trying to avoid the treadle right now. I actually could go through the rest of the tour and not treadle. I really could just spin on this the rest of the tour. It just makes smaller skeins. That's not true. I always say that. I say something and then I say, that's not true. I have one Ara bobbin with 4 bats on it. I have to spin 4 bats to be able to ply. Unless I make a plying ball out of it, which I could do. I could do that. I think I'd rather spin a bobbin though. That would be 2 days of spinning. My knee's been doing pretty good. I don't want to re-aggravate it though. Probably what I could do is spin a bat, wait a day, spin a bat, wait a day. I will have to ply it by the end of the tour, but I think I have enough time to do it that way. That's a plan. I love my treadle too, but I think I ended up pulling a muscle. I know the only thing that has been working to ease the pain is muscle relaxer medication, so I think I pulled a muscle treadling too much. See, I love the Ara treadle because it's double treadle. The Ashford is single treadle, and I would use my right leg only to do the work with so I need to not do the Ashford at all right now. Knots and Stitches, welcome. How are you tonight?
Just got home from dinner with your husband. That's nice. We had lunch. We're old folks. We eat out early. That's a Florida joke. Where my mom lives. When we go visit her, we basically have to go out and eat. We generally go between 2 and 3 because the restaurants, now not the chain restaurants, but the little restaurants, where you go, little local restaurants, they all close at 4 o'clock. They only serve breakfast and dinner because nobody comes to eat there anyway after 4 o'clock. So we kind of do that up here too, and we joke about it.
Eating Florida time. This is getting too thin. I need to pay attention here. I notice what happens is so my right hand is pulling out the fiber from the fiber supply, and when I back off, back towards the orifice further away from the, which is the concept of long draw, but oh my gosh, that got thin. The further back I am, the more fiber comes out and the thicker the single. And yeah, I know everybody in the world loves spinning thin and doing 3-ply and all that, but I am specifically working towards making this 11 wraps per inch. And I just got totally off of it right there. See? Right there, it went real thin. Alright, this is it. I'll weigh this bobbin. Where did I put my sheet here? It has the weight. Here it is. Okay. Let's see. It started out at 3 ounces. The bobbin weighs 3 ounces. And now I have 4.4. So I spun 1.4. Let me get a picture of that. I have so many pictures of the scale with the bobbin on. No fiber, fiber. No fiber, fiber. Let's see if that took good. Yep. Okay. Oh, oil. Let's do oil. So what's everybody doing for the weekend? Gee, let me guess. Spinning. Yes, indeed. I have 6 bobbins for this Roberta, fortunately. So I can fill 4 with singles, and then I do save the rest for plying. Okay, empty bag. Although the fiber is up on the table. This bag... Huh. This is bag 2. Alright. Yeah, alright. So I did bag 2 before bag 1. Doesn't matter. This bag had a total of... Oh wait, is this grams? Huh. I didn't total it. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did it in grams. 199 grams. So. Anyway. That's alright. So that's an empty bag. 2 left. 2 left. When I got groceries during the pandemic where you had to do it online and go pick it up, they used paper bags. Believe me, I have used the heck out of these paper bags. I love them so much more than those plastic. They used to give you the option, do you want paper or plastic? They don't give you the option of that anymore, but they do use paper for some reason on the online orders and the, delivery orders. So, well, not delivery, but pickup orders. I don't know why. Now there's a special plastic bag that's much heavier and much nicer that they put the cold stuff and the frozen stuff in. So I get those, but I have loved having those paper bags for fiber. I already weighed this bobbin earlier. I weighed both of them, but I'll have to... I think I may just stop because I have about 15 minutes before, and instead of getting into a little bit to add to what I spend tonight, I think I am just gonna go to this and leave it for tonight with the 1 bobbin. It's still 1.4 ounces, so... Oh, I didn't write that down. I didn't write it down. I gotta weigh it again. I got too anxious. I said 4 point something. Oh, I have it in a picture. 4.4. Okay.
Write it down too. 4.4 equals, and 3 from that is 1.4 ounces spun. Okay. Now I got it. So what are we talking about there? KB says, I'll do some spinning, but not sure. Depends on if it rains. Would like to go play some frisbee golf. Yeah, that would be good if you can get out. We are supposed to have a lot of rain over the next 3 days. Knots and Stitches says, spinning is on my to-do list, but so is the water park and a baby shower. See, that'll be fun. Yeah. All the little tiny onesies. Am I being silly because I've had wine tonight? I have one grandson. I've had one baby to knit for. I did for a while when I was working have coworkers that were having babies, but for the most part, the last job that I held, everybody was older and they were not having babies. So anyway, I just never really had the opportunity to knit, but I did many years ago, but not hand spun. I never would use hand spun. Only once. I always say something and then I say, oh wait. But one time I made, just because I had to, Angora baby booties, right? It's just like totally impractical and really was just a gift for her to kind of put in the treasure chest of what she keeps for the baby. So there was one girl I made Angora baby booties for, and I've not thought about that for a long time, but I just had that thought of doing that again and putting it on a string like you do mittens, and so that you can throw them over your mirror in the car and have it hanging there like you do the fuzzy dice and all that stuff. Wouldn't that be cute? That would be a cute little memento gift, I think. But anyway, I have been crocheting, which is really interesting experience because I don't crochet much. And I'm working out of one book. This is for a Make It Along from your library, and it's Christmas colors. And I made a scrubby, which I wouldn't use for a scrubby. And I made a supposedly washcloth that looks more like a doily. So I'm not going to use it as a washcloth. I'm going to use it to sit under a candle or something, or an arrangement, more likely some kind of arrangement for the table or whatever. And now I'm working on a teapot cozy, so I'm kind of curious to see if it actually becomes a teapot cozy or if I'll repurpose that too. I think my gauge is off. I just don't crochet like I knit at all. I know the stitches, I can put them in the right order, I can do everything like that, but everything I crochet seems bigger than what they expect, or not as tight as what they expect. And my point is, if you're going to be cramming a non-pointy implement into a stitch and picking up half of your stitch and then throwing yarn around, and you don't want to split your yarn and all that, you're not going to crochet tight. You're going to crochet loose, so you can do that, Knots and Stitches says, I use cotton or acrylic for baby items because I only give items that can be thrown in the washer. Yes. Yeah, I told this lady specifically. I said, these are not functional. In fact, I gave her another gift too, and put the booties on the package, right? And I said, these are really not to be used. They cannot go in the washer. They are just like, oh. And of course they did. They passed them all around the circle and everybody like, oh, that's so soft, So I agree, knots and stitches. It's got to be practical, doesn't it? Anyway, that has been what I've been doing is crocheting if I'm not spinning. And as far as what we will do this weekend, we have no plans because it is supposed to rain, and more than likely we'll just be doing housey things like cooking and that sort of thing. All right, I'm going to say adieu. It has been wonderful. Thank you all, especially KB. I really appreciate you hanging out with me the whole stream. Thank you. And Kay, it's always good to chat with you. And Knots and Stitches, I'm glad you stopped by. So you all take care. And guess what? I'll be back tomorrow. I have no idea what time. I hope Twitch sends out an announcement. I had a really weird thing at the beginning of this where Twitch says, we can't get your information. And I was like pretty sure it wasn't going to send out a notice or anything. So I don't know if Twitch is being crazy. I reset everything I could think of. We'll see. But anyway, I definitely post on the Discord under the Tour de Fleece. So you can catch it there and see that I'm streaming. Have a good night, everybody. Happy spinning.